Rolling through the Midwest, got the hops in line. On day and dig deep, pouring knowledge in the rhyme from the brewery to the bar. We bring the heat, crafting perfect brews to our cities on the beat. Spilling all the news, we keep it fresh and raw. Liquid golden hands, raise your glass for the law. Popping up, sharing wisdom with the kings of the tape. Very simple state, there's no time to waste.
Midwest vibes, we stay legit. For another round, let's never quit. Midwest vibes, we stay legit. For another round, let's never quit.
Yeah, we are back for another Midwest Beer Show. How you like that? New banger? New
I
banger
know,
opener
I
right
like
there?
it. I like it. Had like a little reggae feel to it. Yeah.
Had some new artists in the studio. I said, let's try to put something new down for the show for 2026. So came up with something like that. And for those of you watching, make sure to catch it on the back end because I got a new outro out there too. So we're getting some talent flowing through the studio. Yeah. So But welcome back to the second Midwest Beer Show of 2026. I myself, Rod J, here with Dave Zalatoris from Beer in Front. Great to have you guys back in for another ride as we go through some of the news and some of the other things that are happening from around the beer world and maybe outside the beer world. You know, we never know where the discussions are going to go on here. So we like to flow with what people like to talk about. So if you got some comments, make sure you actually throw some stuff out there. Shout out to Noah in the house already. Cheers. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome back for another episode. And Noah started watching last episode. He was actually in for part of the live stream I did the other day as well. I think with Blue Ox. I also did one with Julie with the Kick Fizz. So we had a couple good live streams in between the last show. And as a little heads up coming up, and you've had them as guests on your channel before, but I will be bringing on Brews Beers here.
Oh, nice.
The first week of February. So we're setting that all up. So lots of good stuff happening. So make sure you guys lock in, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, thumbs up if you like what's happening. If you haven't hit Dave over on the Beer in Front side, make sure to subscribe to his channel as well. Lots of good stuff happening. So we want to make sure we keep you guys all in the know. That being said, almost half the country's going through a winter blast right now. So I'm in Cincinnati. I'm feeling it. Dave's in Chicago. He's feeling it. And it should be interesting. Everything is hitting later than they said it was going to happen, which no surprise whether people flip a coin if they're right or wrong. So I'm starting to get a little bit of a dust in now. We were supposed to get it earlier. So my apologies out to Sam Adams, Cincinnati, as I was supposed to be out there for an event today, but we were supposed to have this stuff happening. So I had to move other stuff up and didn't get a chance to get out there, but I will hit that again at some point here. I know great people out there and some of the other local spots, but any craziness up there in Chicago right now is just kind of...
It's just cold. Like, you know, at night, the last couple nights, it's like 9 below, 10 below. You know, it didn't get to like above zero till about noon today. Yeah. And we're at 6 right now, so we're above. But yeah, no, it's just cold.
So we're just 8 degrees ahead of you. We're at 14 right now. So notice that, learn new tricks and stuff. Yeah. I've got a bunch of tricks. I just don't go into the bag as much, no, but you hang in, you'll see me go into the bag a lot more and pull some stuff out. So yeah. And cheers and shout out to Alpha Bewitch. There you go. Welcome. And hadn't put everything all together, but for all the new folks that are jumping in, if I've got it here, hit you with the big welcome as well. Just kind of just jumped in and started rolling. Catch me rolling.
Yeah.
Where is the thing here? Oh, there it goes. Hit you with the maybe if it wants to work. So, there we go. A little delay there. I guess the Stream Deck is drinking too. Yeah. Speaking of drinking, I'm actually starting off a little bit different tonight. I am going to have the beers because we are the Midwest Beer Show, but I am starting off with a little bit of bourbon. I'm actually having a New Riff 8-year great whiskey, 50 ABV, 100 proof. It was actually something we had when we got the house as a housewarming gift, and it's like, you know what?
Nice.
might as well crack it open. It's supposed to be Snowmageddon for whatever time this time.
Yeah.
It's got to stay warm, right? So that's what I'm actually cracking open right now. And I know, Dave, you're in the back end of doing the dry January. So what are you kind of drinking on?
I was out today. I wanted to grab some stuff for the show, and they had Athletic in the stovepipe. So this is their Run Wild IPA. It's not bad. We've had better NA beer companies. So, but I'm like, at least that I don't have to commit to a 6-pack of it. I'm like, let me try it. It's not horrible. It's not something I'm going to dump down the drain, but I would reach for another NA beer before I grab this one again.
Yeah. Well, first and biggest doesn't always mean best either, but I've had to Run Wild out there, and I'm with you. He was kind of anti-beer. I mean, didn't hate it, didn't love it. Kind of gave you a little bit of the fix you're looking for, but shout out to JT in the house. What is up, my friend? Great to see you, brother. Notice we've been getting like minus 20 plus wind chills and about supposedly be slammed with a foot of snow. Yeah, we're supposed to get a foot. That's right. You're not far from me, Noah, actually, because you're in Ohio as well. So yeah, we're supposed to get a foot of snow. Guess we rolling. Hey, they actually called me. JT says, funny, Rod, I'm sipping on the old fashioned. Yeah. So, I mean, just a little bit different to warm it up and everything. I threw a few people off recently. I just uploaded a RTD cocktail on the channel. I'm going to be sharing a little bit more of the RTD cocktails. So something a little bit different. I mean, RTDs are really creeping into the beer space anyway. So I might as well go ahead and share some stuff there for some of the people that kind of see that next to their favorite suds. Hey, this might be something you want to check out.
Well, before I'm going to grab something real quick to show you guys while we're talking old fashioned.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. Maybe we can get Dave to come off a dry January, folks. So wait for Dave to grab that, and then we'll start getting into some of the beer news things here in a bit. And hopefully everybody is staying safe. If you are out there figuring this storm to be on top of you, I think they're I can't say that it was fully oversold, but so far it's been, I think, oversold with the news on what we're expecting. Yeah. So we'll see how it plays out.
So, I mentioned I'm doing dry January, so I'm trying different things to put in my soda water, but I saw this. It's an old-fashioned, like, mix, non-alcoholic. So, I poured this into some soda water, and this was actually pretty decent. Like I could see putting, some bourbon in this and making an old fashioned if you don't have all the ingredients on hand. But I mean, this was pretty solid. If, like I won't have everything on hand because I'm not always in the mood for an old fashioned. So I might not have everything outside of the bourbon, but you can grab something like this. It'll tie you over.
Well, that's nice. I mean, when I go out and I have like some of the cocktails at places, I probably old fashioned more than anything else.
Yeah.
Occasionally like a margarita or something like that, but old fashioned is probably the main one that I usually grab. And I like to try the different ones because different places have different styles of how they do old fashions and stuff. So I've had them smoked and non-smoked and different flavor profiles. It's always kind of fun to see how they're shaking it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Ryan in the house. Happy Saturday to you as well, Ryan. He's here in Cincy too, so hopefully, you're not dealing with anything bad yet. I see a dusting that we got out there on the snow, but hopefully you got all your stuff out of the way before we get hit with Snowmageddon. Cincy area, yes sir. Yeah, stay strong.
I know.
Then we'll 8 more days to go. Yeah, Dave will get there.
Yeah.
You got a tearaway calendar or anything that you're actually counting it down, or you just kind of just rolling and just waiting?
Yeah, I was thinking, maybe since I am legally ordained as a man of the cloth from Miller High Life, maybe give myself dispensation on the 31st with my weekend. So we'll have to see. I might have to, bless myself and give me a day's grace.
Yeah. Well, with a lot of the stuff we see in the world today, why not, right? It's like, start thinking, there's no better time for you to start cracking cellar beers open now than apparently now. So you may start seeing some reviews coming up on that soon here on the channel as well. What's in the mix? Bitters or our usual 40 or 50 proof?
This is orange and cherry juice blend from concentrate. So there's really no bitters in this, or none that they mention. It is water, sugar, orange juice, cherry juice, natural flavors, and vegetable juice for color.
Okay. And I know you've done some NA spirits in the past. Have you done any for this month at all?
No, I'm not.
Like anything?
And it's some of them, it's like they're more expensive than buying the real thing. And it's like, I don't mind spending $10-12 on a 6-pack of beer, but when you're getting $45 for an NA spirit, I'm like, I'll just drink water.
Yeah. Little bit of a big pill to swallow for that situation.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem like buying a regular bottle of liquor for that price, but I'm like, no, I can't jump that hurdle for dropping $40 for a fake gin. Just give me the real stuff.
I can't find a justification.
Yeah.
I think I made a good first impression. Typical. Yeah. Sometimes not so much, but damn, I've lived a while. No, you were good. So you're good there, Noah. Yeah. Hey, I'm a certified Judas priest. So there you go. I actually thought one time about getting ordained and making like the Church of Hops or something, but I didn't go through. But Shannon, Todd's wife, she's ordained as well. Yeah. So she
I've done
actually married a couple of their friends. There you go.
Yeah.
Could be a nice little side thing to do.
Yeah, I've done a few, and it's like you really get to the bottom of the barrel if you're asking me to do your wedding. Like, you really haven't thought all this shit out.
It's like, Dave, we're in a tight spot.
Yeah. You off Saturday? I'm like, yeah.
Will you do it for just a 6-pack? Well, sure.
Yeah. We'll feed you. We'll give you dinner and open bar. All right, I'm in.
I'm in. Yeah. Sit up there holding your drink on the rocks. Yeah. You may now kiss the bride.
Yeah.
Do it quick. I need a refill. Yeah. So yeah. But taking a look out as we look into some of the beer news items, I guess we could jump into some of that here as well. And we got here shout outs. Hello, welcome. M10 Brahmas. So great to have you here as well. And let me see. So this was starting out with this one here. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it before we kind of came on.
Yeah, I perused a couple of them.
Yeah, Beer 3.0, talking about the new frontier where craft is pushing boundaries, or where I guess they need to push boundaries. Kind of getting into the Gen Z, not drinking as much again, or just younger drinkers, kind of talking about drinking less and how hard seltzers and RTDs are increasingly gaining traction with them, and kind of basically saying where brewers need to be to kind of meet the new demands that are out there, to navigate these different changing tastes. But it's not like some of these breweries can come up with and just start making RTDs either, based on what they're doing. You have some breweries that can do the seltzer type line on stuff. We've seen that, like I'll say, like Untitled Art does a really good line of seltzers and stuff. But it's kind of like, how do you put yourself in the right spot to be able to get in with the younger folks? I mean, obviously we're seeing that now with some of the breweries doing the NA beers. We got more breweries jumping into that area. But it's definitely putting them kind of in a spot. And so at this point, a lot of breweries have to look at how do we become more versatile, because it's not anymore what they want to make. It really never was about just what you wanted to make, although I know some brewers kind of have that concept, and those are the ones that usually will struggle after a certain point. But it's also, what do you need to make to have people want to come and drink your stuff too? Yeah. So that's kind of tilted it more to that side than what the brewery might want to have to do. Kind of an interesting piece. I don't know what thoughts you may have had on it here as they kind of talk about that.
Well, it's something, I don't know if I mentioned it here, but it's an idea that I have. And you read these articles, and we get like a ton of like beer news and stuff that are sent to us. And you hear how Gen Zs want like more they want more things more custom to what they want and what they need. And you're wondering, there's hop companies out there. We both talked about Abstracts hops in like the past, but you wonder if like, you know, a lot of people and younger people grew up with these Coke freestyle machines. Like you don't just get Coke. I want cherry. I want, you know, lemon, lime, whatever you may want, but you wonder that you could get hop extracts that give you different flavors. So you could make your base hazy IPA, but then you could add a hop extract to it. Like some people might want more of a tropical vibe with their beer. Some might want more of the pine or the citrus. So you wonder if something like that, you're still selling the beer, you're just adding a couple drops of these hop extracts to give it a different flavor, if something like that would work.
Right. Well, I ain't gonna lie though. When they came out with those machines, I was pretty much loving them. I like to be able to go in and make those choices, make your own. It took me back to being a kid when we did it with the Big Gulp, and we were limited on the choices on the Big Gulp machine. But now it's just like, let's get crazy in here. So
you wonder if like something like that. Okay, each person, you could have 5 different beers out of the same base beer that you're making.
Right. Yeah. And it was kind of interesting on the one piece here, it talked about embracing the hybrid. So a brewery over in Italy, it makes mention of here where they were blending beer like with wine. And that started to take off over there. They call it like grape ale. And it's saying it's exploded, and basically it's a mixture of the two. There's also a beer cider hybrid. I would say here in Cincinnati, Rheingeist, one of their beers, I'm trying to think of the name offhand, but when you have it, it's not like the Bubbles, which is more their cider, but it's got like the Rheingeist logo, but you can see like it's part like apple, but it's like a hybrid of beer and cider, and it is really good. It is really smooth. It kind of blends both worlds together great. So they have a line where they kind of been doing that over the years. I haven't seen many of the other breweries kind of headed that way, but Rheingeist is big enough where they can take those kind of chances and do that. And Ryan, if you're here, you might know which one I'm talking about offhand. But I forgot what the name of it was when they came out with it, but it was really good. And they come out like kind of a seasonal type thing when they share them out there. Let's talk about like basically changing the story as well, kind of working your brand into other things. Now here it talks about like something like this yoga setup where they did it with Lululemon, got together with Celsius, and it helped increase their brand a little bit more, kind of being where the people were going to be. I don't think you can really do that with breweries and beer because of the restraint of it being, 21 and over type thing. Unless it, is something where, we both are ambassadors with Go Brew and that do the NA stuff for people that work out. So they've got like a thing where they could probably do like athletic apparel or athletic like you're having. Might be able to do something like that. But when it gets into some of the beer stuff, it'd be kind of interesting to see if there's a way for them to really kind of do that. Now, it does say this Meili Kenwa beer taps into wellness and lifestyle trends with minimalist design and natural aesthetics. But to me, it just looks like a beer can. It doesn't look like it's anything like what they mentioned there with the Lululemon. But you got to be where the people are going to be. And basically saying, look beyond your sector, look to other categories where you can actually have an opportunity and stuff too, which, we've said that numerous times. You have to be where the consumers are. You got to be able to meet them there to get your stuff to actually going as well. No, it's not the Bubbles, which Bubbles is good, but Bubbles is more of it's a rosé ale, but I feel like it's more cider. But I guess you could say Bubbles would be a hybrid there, being a rosé ale, because they do use off the rosé wine. But there was another one they actually had years ago before that, but Bubbles has kind of taken off for them and the different things they're doing. So that would be one of them as well. Noah says, how you and Dave know each other? Both of y'all dope ass too. Well, we came together because we appreciate the compliment there too. Because you didn't say dope ass old dudes, but just dope ass dudes. Yeah. But, we came together basically. Calls unks. We came together because of YouTube and beer. It just kind of part of the beer community. We end up connecting through different channels and videos, all kind of stuff. Had a chance to actually meet in person up there in Chicago. Gonna get Dave down here for Oktoberfest. But yeah, so yeah, we just kind of been friends since then. So yeah, YouTube, the beer community we have here, Ryan in the chat, same way. Cincy Brew Dads, if you haven't checked him out, Noah, check him out. He's down there in Cincinnati. Him and Matt kind of just connected with them more recently, but they're doing some great stuff on beer. And the community is a welcoming one overall for sure. IPAs are strange. Well, I mean, every style, every style's not a winner for everybody. I like some IPAs, but there are some that can be overpowering for some. Just like the first time someone has a barley wine, it's kind of like they get thrown back by it if their palate's not ready for it, right? But then years later, they come back and I really enjoyed this barley wine. So your palate can change, Noah. You may like them at a later point, and not all are the same. I know, and I'm going to use Shannon here, Todd's wife. She hates IPAs until she had the Bell's Two Hearted, and then she couldn't believe it was an IPA. She really enjoyed that one. So you just never know sometimes. Could be something that changes up for you. No, with the bubbles there. Oh, Cider Guys. That's what I was thinking of, Cider Guys, which was actually like a hybrid type one. So it wasn't a full cider, but it was like a hybrid type mix they did. But yeah, Ryan Guys had gotten into that, and it opened up a new market with them that people that kind of like that flavor. And it's not your traditional beer. You get that cider type tinge to it, but carries everything else. So they found that opportunity. Let's see here. Pull this up. So you've actually, so this one here on Alarmist, which is actually closing time.
Yeah, not cool. So Alarmist announced that Sunday, February 1st is going to be their final day. So this came out of nowhere. They put it out, I think, last Monday. And like, I literally had my whole show done, and I was going to put it out when I came home from work. And then I saw this, so I had to cut this piece in real quick and add it. But Alarmist, great brewery. They've won some GABF hardware. So definitely not cool, but, times are tough in the brewing industry. So, if you got a place you love, go out and support them. I mean, you don't have to go out there every day. Don't bankrupt yourself. But, if you see them in the stores or whatever, grab a 6-pack of them. But, yeah, it sucks. They put out a ton of good beers, some medals. So I'm going to try to get over there probably that Sunday, the last day, and pick up something to go, or if anything is left, grab a 6-pack or 2 to take home. But yeah, they put out some good stuff. They had a good pale ale called Pantsless. I think that one took a medal as well. But yeah, really not cool news out of Chicago with the Alarmist closing.
Yeah. How long have they been around? Like, when did they start? Do you remember?
It's probably close to 10 years now. I mean, I think they brewed before, but then they opened up the tap room maybe 2017-ish, right around there. So, close to 10 years, but, they took home a medal in the hazy IPA category. They did this Pantsless. I mean, all of their beers have been, just really good, and they had good distribution. So it was always, you could pick them up, grocery stores, liquor stores, whatever. But, times are getting tough.
Yeah. I mean, we were seeing some of that, and there was a few other things I've seen for a couple ones out there. But then again, that's I'm reading one of the other pieces, and they made it seem like it was Brewmageddon, so to speak. And it's like, it's down, but it ain't down that bad. Like, we got some that are definitely being affected. Even Bart made some comments from the Brew Association. But overall, I think it was like 40, I'm thinking the numbers, like 44, 43% of the breweries actually had gained from year over from the past year. They've actually increased. So overall, as a total market, we're down, but there are some gains being made by some breweries. And, you could be down, if you did a certain amount of sales and you're down 5%, you're considered down for next year, but you're not really off maybe as bad either. So you always have to look inside the numbers and stuff too. But yeah, there are definitely some that are feeling a little bit more. There are some that, you think about if they came out and they were started home brewing after the Jimmy Carter 78 or so, like in the 80s, and they got started in the 90s, they're probably getting to the point where they're probably like, hey, I'm ready to kick back and retire. If they can't find anything, we're seeing some retirements that are closing some breweries as well. So
Yeah, it was
Always some
interesting.
different things happening.
You mentioned a Brewers Association. I had Matthew on, Matt Gasiak he's a staff economist at the Brewers Association. I had him on the show that came out last week, and he mentioned something I thought was pretty interesting with breweries that are going to start to come up, that a lot of these places, when they opened during the big boom 10 years ago, they signed 10-year leases, and these leases are going to start coming up. And because of the brewery being successful, the rent's going to be going up. And he's like, I don't know if a lot of these breweries that are just treading water are going to be able to swing that. So I thought that was pretty interesting and something we'll have to keep our eye on in the next, couple of years when these leases start coming up.
Yeah. That's definitely a consideration they have to look out for as well. No, it's IPAs are like trying cuisine from a country you've never had food from. You need to find one an inventory point to open up your palate. Yeah. Hey, you find one, it might stretch you out and you start building from there. Yeah. My palate has changed a lot in recent years. My stouts taste oxidized to me, and many IPAs give me reflux. Yeah, I mean, as time goes on, you definitely see that when that's an opportunity. And that was Ryan actually said that. I think I said Noah, but it's something that does happen. You find different beers affect you different ways as you get older,
Yeah.
And JT said, sad news about alarmists. Try so many countless IPAs, but all of them tasted worse than the chick that sprayed all over my face. Jesus, Noah. Yeah. I mean, we have fun. Don't get us wrong, but dude. Car wash.
Yeah.
I brought my wife a Coast bag for $1,000. Well, that's love right there. That's all I can tell you. Those Coast bags ain't cheap though.
Yeah.
A rent dispute is one issue that killed Metropolitan. Yeah. There's been a few breweries that have been into that, with the whole rent thing. So, which I never had the Metropolitan beers, but I know how it hit you guys there in Chicago, and they were definitely one of the beloved breweries, so to speak. Let's see here. You go out there, you win a national title, you're on top of the world, and then a brewery comes along and they say, you know what? We're going to give you free beer for life. And it's like, oh, I'm really winning. Indiana, they pull out the title. Coach Kurt Cinetti, if you saw him afterwards, after they asked him what he was going to do, he said he just basically want to go home and have a beer after the game. Wasn't going to do any planning yet. Asked what kind of beer after he won the title he had, and it was the Hoosier beer, which is actually done by Upland Brewing there in Indiana. So Upland, with the big shout out, said, you got free beer from us for life. I guess when he said that, I don't know what may have happened, but they probably got a lot of business thinking, why do I got the One Nation Under God popping up here? They must have had a lot of people say, I want to get that Hoosier beer or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it was selling
like marketing with them. They were like, you get free beer for life. So
I mean, it's done in collaboration with the university. So, I mean, that beer's been around for a couple of years, but I'm assuming it's been gangbusters, this year or the last couple of years since Indiana's been really successful in football.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You don't really hear as much about it. I'd have to ask Todd since he's over in Indiana. But really, when they came out with it, like you had Indiana basketball, you had Indiana football, but the basketball team wasn't doing as much. Football team did pick up. It's a good run there. And it was out there. And obviously, some of the younger folks that are of legal age, of course, are probably supporting the university drinking and some people around that area. But, he put them on the map probably a little bit more. I mentioned them kind of putting it out there.
Design that, brings back those striped pants that Indiana wore during the Bobby Knight days. So, I mean, it's great can art on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I wish I can get free beer for the rest of my life. No. I have enough beer. I don't have to worry about that. I have to find out a way to do it, though.
Yeah. Hey, Upland. Oh, I can go for a beer, Upland.
We mentioned you too.
Just saying. Both Rod and I are close enough to Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Upland had to be elated when you mentioned. Yeah, I would say Upland was probably elated for sure. I'm sorry, a little bit different. Best believe I join a roll up and I get that. Nah, you're good. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It was just funny. Like, no, you threw it out there. My sense of humor, sometimes the best. Then beer goggles got anything looking like J-Lo. I'm past those days, so
Yeah.
with the Super Bowl rod, a lot of head coach openings in the NFL. Yeah, there are. Apparently, Phillip Rivers was actually interviewing for the Buffalo Bills head coach job, whatever. I mean, came back and played a few weeks for Nick Colson. Like, I can coach out here, probably. I mean, you were coaching like high school or something, but now you think you can coach NFL? We'll see. We'll see.
Got a lot of kids to feed. He's got to get back
coming back and playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got enough for a band at least. So they should be doing something. Let's see here. So this is kind of an interesting one. If I can get this one to pull up here. Not that one. I want this one. Now, they said they actually spoke to experts, but there were only 2 experts they actually supposedly spoke to who said they were experts. Take it for what it may is, but it's an interesting concept. 7 craft beers that aren't worth the price, according to experts, as mentioned here. And they talked to this Bridget Fahey, owner and bartender at the Wander Bar in New Hampshire, and Ryan Hope, who is the special project and beverage coordinator at Flanker Kitchen and Sporting Club in Salt Lake. Don't know what either of them do, but I mean, outside of what's mentioned here, but you know, that's who they use for their thing. New Belgium Fat Tire, worth the price. I don't think Fat Tire is an expensive beer, so I don't know about why you would put New Belgium Fat Tire out there. Is it worth paying for what it is now compared to what it used to be? I would say no, but it's not like it's an overpriced type beer, I don't think.
Yeah.
Any thoughts you have on New Belgium and Fat Tire?
I mean, it's not as good as the original, but let's face it, like, you know, we've talked about other breweries before, like your palates change. When that came out, I thought it was a great beer, but then as your palates grow and evolve over time, it didn't do much for me. And obviously I wasn't the only one who thought that, because sales of the original kept declining and declining until you try to do this.
Yeah, well, I mean, going from the amber to what I think they went to the golden ale. So that definitely is a big shift. It's not like just changing something in the recipe. That's changing the whole recipe.
Yeah,
which is interesting. And now here's one close to you, of course, Goose Island.
But this doesn't list like any. This doesn't list anything about their beers, so I'm calling bullshit on this article because, you know, their Bourbon County Stout is still the same. That hasn't changed. They put Honkers out again, which is a phenomenal beer. Yeah, maybe like 312 and their IPA has changed formulas since AB have bought them, but I don't know, just throwing shade on a generic brewery with no evidence to back it up. Like, yeah, I'm calling bullshit on this article.
Yeah, I mean, they get into it. They do mention about AB acquiring the brand and things trying to change. But yeah, like you said, the Bourbon County Stout is so. I will say there could be a question if the Bourbon County Stouts are still worth the price of paying for them, because the beer game has changed so much. You can find a lot of really good Imperial Stouts out there that'll be less than what you're paying for the Bourbon County. So I can see that part of the argument being out there. But for them to actually attack the brewery there, I don't really drink like the Goose IPA anymore. I mean, unless I'm like waiting at airport bars like that and everything, that's the best thing they have on tap. It's not something I would go out and usually search for, but they don't really give enough depth on why they're saying that. Brewdog, I haven't done Brewdog in a while. Yeah. The BrewDog beers I've had in the past were decent. They're not overly priced or anything along those lines. But what they kind of have gone through as far as the management stuff, and now when their head brewer left, that was the partner, they've kind of fallen off along those lines. But if you're not saying aren't worth the price because of the quality of them, I don't know if that really holds true.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. Now I will say this is an interesting one on the list: the Alchemist Heady Topper. So I had Heady Topper for the first time, I think it was last year, either last year or the year before. And I will say, price-wise, it wasn't bad, but I would say it didn't live up to what I thought it was going to be. Still a solid beer, but not as high up as a lot of people actually had that. Now, that might have been because other beers are on that level at this point versus when people have the nostalgic feel when it first came out. And it was a number of years of that time before I actually got a chance to taste it. But I would say this is one that you wouldn't have to maybe seek out for that. I don't know. I feel like it's a mark it off your list beer and then you move on.
Yeah.
So
it's another one, like, it's so hyped up that when you open it, you're bound to be a little disappointed because everybody's like, oh, this is such a great beer, such a great beer. And you're like, yeah, it's a good beer, but is it great? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's another bullshit one. Clickbait.
Ballast Point Brewing. I will say some of the Ballast Point beers over the years have been more than what you would want to pay for them. And some of the 6-pack type stuff. Now, when they were doing Victory at Sea, that was well worth paying for. That's one of my favorite Imperial Porters ever put out. But some of the other stuff they were doing, some of the other Sculpins and things, there were some that were just like not really worth what they were actually charging. Even like some of their kind of wheat ales were overpriced and stuff. So I can see Ballast Point, but what has Ballast Point been relevant in probably the last 5 to 10 years?
I mean, they haven't been.
Right.
When they sold to Constellation, and then when Kings and Convicts bought them, there were talks that the recipe might have changed on the Sculpin, but Sculpin was always overpriced. I remember we could get it here 2014, around there, 2015. Back then, 10, 11 years ago, it was $15 a 6-pack. So that was really high, and it was really good. But then Hazy's took over, and the West Coast kind of faded. So it's still a great IPA, but you just can't get it. Now it's only around in like California. Like we can't get it here anymore. And allegedly this Kings and Convicts is a Midwest company. So you can't get Ballast Point here in Chicago.
Yeah, I haven't seen it as much around here. I've seen it pop up at 1 or 2 spots maybe, but rarely do you come across it now at this point. So I'm actually surprised when I see people post stuff on it like, oh, you got it there. Okay.
Yeah.
This one here, Victory Sour Monkey. I'm like you. I'm calling BS on that because Victory Sour Monkey, the Monkey series to me is a good series from Victory. I enjoy their beers. And again, it's not a bad price that you're getting for these Victory beers. You're getting a 6-pack of these, usually somewhere between, I think, $10 to $12.99 or whatever like that. But they're all like going to knock you in your ass if you're not paying attention. But they're all.
And we could even get
tasty.
the Sour Monkey. We could get that in a stovepipe. Like they sell that at my Jewel, which you could walk to that Jewel and pick up a Sour Monkey in a bomber. It's not an overpriced beer. Who are these two?
Right. I don't think it is at all.
Shit. who the fuck are these two? Salt Lake City. What the fuck do you know about beer? Fuck out of here.
Which of your wives told you that? Yeah. Allagash Curio. Now I haven't had this one from Allagash, but Allagash is a superb brewery from the stuff I've had from them. I don't know if you've had this one or not from them, but I don't know if this is supposed to be something that's supposed to be. I've never heard of anybody saying Allagash was charging too much for their beers.
I don't know if it's widely distributed. I had it there when I did the brewery tour at Allagash, and I thought it was phenomenal. So I don't know what the price of it is because I don't think I've ever seen it here to purchase. But It's a solid beer. Fuck are these guys?
And then they say any brand that's mysteriously unattainable or suddenly everywhere. What kind of statement is that to put out at the end of the article either? So, you can't get Treehouse unless you go to Treehouse.
Yeah.
It's unattainable, but guess what? Treehouse delivers great beer. You can't get Pliny from what I've been told unless you go out there to Russian River. Haven't had it out there, but everybody I knows that it talks about how good of a beer it is too. So that's there. Or you have some beers that are everywhere that are still good beers.
Yeah.
So what's the moral of the story? I don't know. Be careful what you guys are reading out there on some of this stuff. Because these two, I don't know what made them the experts they actually are. But in all the article across here, this is on Daily Mail. Daily Mail, you need to vet some more people for your pieces on this.
Yeah. Stop going to ChatGPT to write your articles. The fuck?
Yeah.
They're lucky I'm not drinking. I'd really tell them what I thought of them. I'm gonna grab another NA beer.
You went with the other J word. You went with the other. All right, you went with the other J word tonight. I was expecting the other one to come out. So
it's early. We're only 41 minutes into this. Let me grab another one real quick.
All right, I'm getting some of the comments here. Let's see here. Where did I leave off? No ass follow NASCAR or any form of racing. I don't really watch it as much. Occasionally I'll be on there watching some stuff. Went to the Indy 500 years and years and years ago, and that was a blast to actually see that race. But occasionally, kind of the law, I'm kind of in that sports kind of law. Once college basketball drops down some, that's when I'll usually start maybe catching some of the racing that takes place. But I'm not as familiar now as I used to be with some of the drivers. Back in the day, I actually did fantasy NASCAR, and I had like Bobby Labonte was one of my drivers, and I had Dale Earnhardt Jr., I think I had Michael Waltrip, and I had somebody else on the team. And I actually came in like second that year, which was surprising. So
I had my guy Tony Stewart.
Yeah, I didn't get Tony. I know because Tony's in Ohio. He does the Home Depot stuff here too. So Tony's very well known. But I did not have him on my squad. Yeah,
I was a Tony Stewart guy.
Yeah, got Big Daddy in the house. Cheers! It's been a while, my friend. He's got his usual Voodoo Ranger. Which Big Daddy actually picked up 2 new New Belgium Voodoo theories in my Make My Own 6-pack that I'll be doing some reviews on. But they came out, I think they were in our variety pack, and our Kroger people just broke them up and started selling them individually until you make your own 6, which is fine because I didn't want to buy a whole thing. I want to kind of see what those taste like. So I'll have those coming. But there's 2 they just released. Take the name of them here. Take a look real quick. Check my Untapped. They are the Voodoo Ranger Hop Dynasty IPA and the Citrus Slayer IPA. So just kind of seeing what's going on with that. F1 fan, JT.
Yeah.
What's your main job, Robin Dave? I'm a straight nerd. I do develop games, websites, have a mobile tech repair business, and a dunk tank rental business. Abstract. Well, you like Heyman back on the Living Color days where you had like, how many jobs you got? 8 jobs.
Rolls out a business card. It's like this long. Yeah.
He's like one of those guys. I got it. If I don't got it, you don't need it. And if you need it, I bet I got it.
Yeah. I work for an airline.
Yeah. And I work for financial services. So tomorrow, very special episode of Cincy Brewdads will be special guest Rod J. What? On location at 9 Giant Fermentorium. That was a fun time. We had 9 Giant Fermentorium. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Make sure to tune in to Cincy Brewdads for that. We had a blast, me, Ryan, and Matt. And the owner was nice enough to break out a special bottle from the cellar that we got to split with him too and enjoy, which was nice. It was a good time. I got to get back over. I just saw that. Sorry, been sort of AFK. I'm a dirt track racer. I think dirt track is above all. I haven't watched any dirt track racing in a while.
Yeah.
Hey, Vanessa's in the house.
Hey,
Cheers,
hey,
Vanessa.
what's
Great
going
to
on?
see you. Ryan says, I love those Victory Monkey beers. Never once thought they were overpriced, right?
Well,
I've never thought they were overpriced either. And like Dave said, you get them in a stovepipe can, it's like a steal.
yeah, they're like $3.50.
Yeah, well, even here they're like 2 for $6 odds, and they got
I gotta
like
keep
some of the
like
spots
cutting
like
off. I got like a little cough, so yeah.
Okay.
I got to click
Did
off
AI
camera
write
right
the
now. I got a
article?
little cough. I don't want to like cough on here. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Cheerio is like 20 for a 4-pack. Worth it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Put it in
Right?
the cart.
Yeah.
In the cart.
Maybe there's some cheap. Maybe they're cheap. Maybe that's what it is. Definitely, when I get a little bit of that productivity juice in me, I say,
How's
what's
that
up?
bourbon, Ron? How's that bourbon hitting you?
It's doing all right.
Yeah.
Rally racing, insane. Well, speaking of racing, I think it's February. For those of you that like racing, if you ever watched the is it the TT Isle of Man? I think over in I don't know if it's in the UK or what in the isle over there, but it's over in Europe. I got into watching that a few years ago because of some of the European friends that we have over there. Kind of brought that up. I think it's Isle of Man or Isle of TT, but the racing they kind of do, it's not even like race, like racing, but not like against each other, but like time trial type stuff. And it is crazy, some of the things they do. JT said, cheers to Big Daddy. I met Tony Stewart before and raced at Eldora. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Voodoo Ranger is my craft beer guilty pleasure. All right, Ryan. So you're back in the corner, like, what are you drinking over there? Nothing. That Beetlejuice meme that people pass around. What are you doing? Nothing.
He puts it in a big ass
Nothing.
koozie. Yeah.
Oh. The Rajay episode of Cincy Brudettes will hit YouTube at noon. All right, counting down high noon. Yeah, if I had that whistle, I would play it. I can't do it. The bourbon's kicking in, Dave. That's how the bourbon's going.
All right.
The productivity juice seems to be hitting you right. A little bit. I'm going to temper it down with a beer in a second, though. Yeah, oh, man, that's what it is. Insane. Is it the island called TT or something? Because I remember like a double T in there, but they race the clock like rally racing. Yeah. And they got all kinds of different vehicles they do when they do it. And unfortunately, sadly, I mean, I guess in all races, someone has passed away, but that one is a little more common, I think, sometimes with some of the stuff they do. Noah. Oh. All right, let's see here. Cut him off. Let's see. What's the other piece that we have here? Oh, this one, Detroit news.
I
Which
couldn't
I didn't
pull that up
realize
my
this
ad
about that.
blocker, so my ad blocker wouldn't let me look at that one. So
Wouldn't let you in, huh?
yeah.
So out of Detroit, we have Motor City Brewing is actually closed. This is the oldest microbrewery in Detroit. I don't think I'm familiar with it. I was going to ask you, have you been familiar with Motor City Brewing? Have you seen anything come over to Illinois?
I've heard of the name, but I don't think I've ever had anything from them.
Okay. Yeah, they ended up, since the time I looked at it initially, now they got like a thing where they want you to buy a subscription. But it basically talked about the owners. It was kind of like they were up against it as far as some of the money and stuff coming in as well. And they got to a point like, they're fighting an uphill battle and they're going to pause things and then figure out what may come next, what they might want to get into. But the oldest microbrewery in Detroit is actually calling it quits. So they're being affected there as well. Okay, TT is a style of motor racing similar to racing, but I don't. Okay, got you. Because I can't remember hearing that. So and then this next week, which I won't be there this year, unfortunately, just too much going on. Was now with this snow and with this cold. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they get there. Because I know some people that were flying in And as you know, Dave, from the airports, a lot of flights are being canceled.
Oh,
But Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week, they have the Ohio Craft Brewers Conference that was taking place up in Dayton. So hopefully they're able to go ahead and get it pulled off. This last week, they had the first ever Best of Ohio competition that was held at Mantree. And so Wednesday, they're supposed to be doing the awards ceremony for the breweries that actually won, but they had a good turnout, a lot of judges that were judging from all over the state. And it'll be interesting to see how it goes for them this week. But hopefully Mary and her crew will be able to be all right up there. But again, if that snow stuff hits and people got to drive in on kind of stuff, you never know how it's going to change the region, because basically all of Ohio is supposed to be affected. So between Cincinnati all the way up to Cleveland. But stay tuned for that. When they actually do that, probably next show, talk about some of the people that may have won the awards that they came out of from the previous thing now. And I never get these around me. I wouldn't mind going to one, although I got to feel like there's a certain different type of people that are up here in Minnesota compared to other spots. I feel they're just built different. Is that what people say? They're just built different because they're having their Charlie's on Pryor Beer and Barbecue Fest January 31st. This will in the snow, on the ice, on the lake. I mean, how much are you enjoying the beer and the barbecue when you're freezing your know what off? That's dedication right there. They are built different in Minnesota.
You could probably go ice fishing right there. Get you a nice, get you a walleye or whatever you get. I've never ice fished, but here up in Minnesota, get you a nice walleye, smoke that right there, have a beer. That's good living.
I mean, the picture looks cold in itself. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know if I would want to be out there doing that.
Yeah, me and you, we'd be like grumpy old men out there. Yeah.
But they're gonna have a DJ, they got the cigar tent, barbecue samples right from the smoker, commemorative sample and beer mug. Take place on the lake. It says 21 plus. All attendees must have valid ID, blah, blah, blah. But 3 hours. That just looks cold. But you can't get a refund until 5 days before event. A lot of these things, you don't get a refund once you put it in there. So it's kind of nice they do give you that refund in case you change your mind, because I'd be watching that weather and be like, I don't think I'm going to make it possibly.
I don't know, like if I want to be I don't know if my fat ass should be on the ice when you got a smoker generating heat. Wouldn't that like melt the ice? No, I'm going to take a pass on that.
The smoker on the land portion, or is it all on the ice? It looks like everything is on the ice though. I mean, I guess they park their cars out on the ice and stuff in the lake too. So, I mean,
I'm going to take a pass this year.
Like I said, Minnesota, they just might be built different.
Yeah.
Get another beer out of here. Being that we were going to have all the snow stuff happening, I figured when I have a beer, it kind of taps into the snow. So I'm going to let this warm for a little bit, but it's Esoteric and their snow day. There you go.
Very nice.
So this is actually 5.2 ABV. It is a white stout with coffee, chocolate, cinnamon, and vanilla. So Esoteric does a great job with the stuff they're doing, and always like to get one of their beers out when I can and to check it out, so to speak. Now, this was actually a pretty cool thing. I actually just stumbled across this when I was wrapping up some things. But Rheingeist was actually doing some work on the brewery and started stripping away at stuff and found there was like some old paint under the paint they were going to paint over on stuff. And it ended up being like the old Moorline information, like an old mural they actually had there. Yeah, so they were going through and they were like starting to scrap away. They're like, wait a second, we think there's something under here. And they went ahead and restored it back to preserve, to kind of peel it back and see what it was. And now you got a bit of history that's part of the area too, which is always cool. You know, when you're able to kind of go back and preserve and bring back some things like that. And the Cincinnati Brewing Heritage goes back so far. So it's kind of like always nice to be able to get those remembrance type things. And Rhinegeist in itself, again, I've had the availability to basically have a tour all through that place before, and down in the basement, you just go in there and there's still things you can go in and crawl under. I don't know about now, it was like a few years ago, but you pull out old stuff from the old brewery sometimes. It's almost like a treasure find you can actually end up with finding down there. But it's cool. It's a part of history.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool looking building. If you scroll down, it kind of gives you like what it looked like back then. And outside of like the roof back then where it was more angled, the roof now is flat. Like they kept like the window shapes and that design on top. It's a really cool looking building.
Yeah, it's cool. And now on the top part, you have like the a roof deck that people go out and they drink on. So you can be up top there. You'll see over to like the Sam Adams and through what we call OTR. It gives a great view of the city from up there. But it's pretty cool. It's like I said, it's one of those things where you find some of that old history still around when you're doing stuff. I still need to do the underground tunnel tours here that they have downtown as well from the breweries where they used to run things. So Cincinnati is a cool city for sure. Yeah. What was the NA beer that you got there?
This one's really good. This is from Best Day. This is their Galaxy Ripple. Solid beer. I think of all of the like IPAs, and this is an alleged Imperial. I still like the Sam Adams, just the haze is probably like my favorite of that style. But I mean, this one's good, it's drinkable, solid, gives you that beer taste. Yeah, the event I was supposed to go at the Sam Adams today, Just the Haze was something they were kind of highlighting there as well. So again, bummed I didn't get down there, but according to weather people, things were supposed to start earlier than they actually did, and I had to rearrange my schedule. So thanks for getting it wrong again, the weather folks. How do we get that job? You're wrong half the time and you're still employed. Right. I talked to so many people about that this week because everybody was. I deal with people up in Wisconsin and New York and these areas about to get hit, and I had so many conversations this week about you have to really, really screw up bad to be like fired as a weather person. Not on the weather, like you have to do something immoral when they got to fire you over something. You can mess up the weather and just be fine. So you're wrong half the time. Like. Airline pilot screws up half his landings. He ain't around. Neither are the passengers. Ice fishing is wild. Love to do it sometime. Never, but it's kind of funny. They're straight up fired. Yeah, I mean, they're out there on the ice with the smokers. So weather is a great excuse for staying in and drinking boozy beers. Just switch from an apple brandy barrel aged Belgian quad to the Dragon's Milk Reserve S'mores Imperial Style. Well, you're doing all right, Ryan. You're doing pretty good right now. You'll be feeling it. Which apple brandy barrel aged Belgian quad did you have? I'm curious to find out. That S'mores is pretty good though for Dragon's Milk. Beer tunnel tours are very cool, definitely worthwhile. Okay, so you've actually been down there, Ryan, as well. Yeah, they always look pretty cool. We actually have a restaurant. Can't remember the name of it, but underground as well. Like you go underground to one of the tunnels, and there's like a restaurant now, and serve your meal and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of interesting, but also it's kind of I feel like it's kind of freaky or something like that. Because I mean, you would be looking around to see walls. I don't know. I'm not claustrophobic or anything, but I can see when someone might freak out. Let's see here. Well, the whole Rogue thing. Thought that's pretty much that was all pretty much over too. But apparently, out there where they're at, they have a law where if you fire people, it's more than 50 people, you're supposed to actually have to give notice. So now a lawsuit has been filed over their shutdown. Go ahead. That's something that's in most states, if it's not a national law. I know we have something like here, it's the WARN Act, and I mentioned it on my show. I'm like, that seems a little sketchy to me. You can't just shut down. You have to give like notice to your employees. So I kind of saw this coming. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, who knows what the administration's going to do? They'll probably side with, you know, the brewery, but it's bullshit that the workers, you know, all of a sudden you're working one day and now you're not. I mean, there's laws. Follow the law.
Yeah. Well, that's like the, you know, when we talked about this before when it happened, there was the train that was out of Pennsylvania that shut abruptly too. I mean, they could have probably be under the same type of thing. The problem you run into, I would think, though, with Rogue is there's 16 million in the hole. So you sue them, but do they have money to even pay anything out? So I don't know if it's just something in futility to actually launch a lawsuit against them if they can't actually come through to pay.
But you weren't profitable the day before you closed down. You knew this was going to happen. So just say, hey, listen, you know, February 1st, we're going to have to shut down.
Yeah. Says lawsuit seeks a jury trial, class certification, a declaration that Oregon Brewing should say Rogue Brewing violated the WARN Act, attorney's fees, civil judge. I'm like, you're trying to get all this stuff out of them, but they couldn't pay anything now. So I don't know.
But you know, I don't know if it's something that they could put a lien, like all of their
assets,
equipment and everything. Yeah, their assets have money, so you know maybe they could get money out of the assets. But you know, you're gonna they owed like how much in back rent and everything else. So yeah, it's gonna be a long line before they get any money.
Yeah. There's a legal tug of war playing out between the largest creditor and the bankruptcy trustee. So. Yeah, they got some issues taking place there, but
the workers will get a case of dead guy. Here you go. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for the 30 years. There you go.
Jag-offs.
Move along. Yeah. Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Fata Morgana from Streetside, 25 for a 2-pack of 16-ounce cans. Okay. I saw Streetside had I think an Imperial Stout they were just releasing this weekend too, which good for them. I mean, I know they were doing stouts before, but I always think of them doing the IPAs and stuff being their like top one, but good to see them branching out with some other areas. And then this one here. Now, this is one you actually found, and so which is funny because I didn't even see this one on some of my stuff. But Rhinegeist here.
Yeah, they're doing a new IPA, a Brewer's Dozen. That looks really cool. It's a West Coast, but with 13 different different hops on there. So you're just going to get a plethora of flavors. So, I mean, that looks like really cool. It's not there. According to the article on My Beer Buzz, there's no release dates yet, but I mean, that looks like really cool. I'd be definitely interested in trying, a good West Coast.
Yeah, clocks in a 6.6% ABV. West Coast IPA featuring 13 unique hop varieties, delivering intense tropical aromas and bright citrus notes in every sip. All right. I'll have to try to find out some more details around that here locally to see what's going on with that. Yeah, I hadn't seen anything on that one. So, Ryan, I don't know if you saw anything on that either, but interesting. I always like some Rhinegeist.
Yeah.
And let's see here.
And I sent you another one, another Ohio tidbit.
You did send me another one. And pull this one up. Just all over Ohio now.
Yeah.
So Great Lakes. We got this one here teaming up with Sarah's Candies for Chocolate Ale. Haven't seen anything on this one yet either. 6% ABV. I feel like they're going kind of like what Warped Wing was doing with their chocolate pairing too. Although Great Lakes is definitely bigger. Limited edition ale brewed in collaboration with Pennsylvania's Sarah's Candies, bringing a candy-inspired twist to the seasonal lineup. Smooth and decadent is described as natural chocolate flavors And did they really know what natural flavors are anyway? They always put that stuff on cans. But anyway, it says it's 6%. Landed to 6% ABV. So I'm all about getting a Great Lakes beer. So
yeah,
I'll definitely look for it. Which we also have the Great Lakes Irish pack about to come out.
Yeah, no, it's out. A friend of mine picked it up here. Yeah,
I haven't seen it here.
He said it was really good. He had the stout. He didn't tell me what the lager was like, but he said the stout was fantastic. He grabbed I think he said he grabbed it at his Binny's.
Okay. Well, you've had the stout though before, right?
Yeah, I have not. What is it? Is it the lager? No, the ale is the new one, or no, the lager, I think.
The lager's the new one.
Yeah.
And then it was, I guess the stout was the next one. The Conway's is the red ale. Yeah. Okay. So you've had Conway's, but you may have not had the stout then, or have you?
I had the stout once. Okay. Thought it was decent, but I don't remember a lot about it. But like the Conway's red ale, that's definitely like I load up when I see that.
Oh, this smells so good. Nice feel of the coffee coming out.
Yeah. Like back to that chocolate ale, that almost, I mean, it's probably late now, but it almost had that red and pink vibe. Maybe it was like a Valentine's Day thing, but probably not going to be that. But yeah, that looks like a really cool beer.
Yeah.
Did you ever have, it was probably maybe 20 years ago now, Sam Adams put out, and it was always for Valentine's Day, and that's what made me remember it. They did a chocolate bock, and it was in like almost like a Magnum, maybe not the full Magnum, but it was in that type of bottle, and it might have been cork and cage, but it had like this pewter label, and it wasn't like a sticker. It was actually engraved pewter on the label, and it was Sam Adams chocolate bock, and it came out for a couple years, a lighter ale like that. Really good, solid beer, but it wasn't cheap. Just the packaging alone to have that bottle with the pewter label I thought it was excellent. We're both pulling up. We're both Googling it right now. I've got it here. I'm going to send you the image. There you go. I just sent you the image. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now, Dave? Can you hear me?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, okay, now I got you.
I think it crashed into my voice mod thing, so I just turned it over to the other thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I never actually picked that one up. I'm trying to think. I had two of them on December 15th, and I wonder if I was at a festival when I had it.
Yeah.
Because back then I just marked it in as drinking it, so
yeah,
that probably meant I probably had it as a taster or something like that. But I had it twice, so I went back and got more.
Yeah, but no, it was at least a couple years, and I remember buying it, and I wish I saved the bottle, but yeah, that was like the pewter, and it was like, imprinted, so it was an expensive packaging, but it was really good.
Interesting. No, I can't. Well, I wonder if they'll bring it back out at some point.
Oh, you know what? Here, I found another bottle of it. So 2004, so 22 years. It wasn't cork and cage, but it was kind of like a maker's mark where it was dipped in wax. So
Okay.
the top of the bottle is the silver colored wax, and then you just open it up. But yeah, I remember that. Yeah, 22 years old.
Wow. And then Ryan said, Rodney Dave, what IPA style do you personally prefer? West Coast, American, or New England?
I'm West Coast. I'm old school.
Of those three, I'm probably West Coast, but of IPA in general, I prefer black IPA.
Yeah.
So black or red.
Yeah.
That's like the one I just had. I think
Yeah.
you guys just did it, Ryan and McCool from Ryan Geist, which is actually a pretty tasty one. But yeah, I get a good black IPA.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
That's just the best of both worlds there. Yeah, see, Ryan hasn't heard about the Ryan Geist one either, so he's
No.
also here in Cincinnati. Let's see here. And then, so Chicago, that's kind of interesting. So you guys are kind of following what's happening here more statewide with Ohio.
With the THC ban?
Screen open. Yeah, with the THC. So
it's going to go into effect unless like the mayor vetoes it, but it was passed by a 2-to-1 margin in the city council. Now, this is not going to ban beverages. The THC seltzers are exempt, but the way that like the article was written and a couple articles that I read said that the seltzers will be available in like liquor stores and places that sell alcohol, but it doesn't mention anything about direct to consumer. And like the day after this ban came out, I interviewed a guy I'm going to have on next week's show who has a THC beverage company called Kama. And he's like, I haven't heard anything. He's like, I wait for my lawyers to tell me where I can sell, where I can't. But he's like, as of now, we haven't heard anything. So we could still ship to Chicago. So I don't know, because a lot of these THC beverages you could buy by mail. I don't know if that's going to be, gone come when this law goes into effect. It says in 10 days.
Huh. Well, that's interesting that he hadn't heard anything on it then.
Yeah. But it was like the day after this came out. So it was still like fresh.
Yeah.
But like, if you use like CBD oils and stuff for like medicinal purposes, that's going to be exempt. Also, there's hemp-based pet products, which are exempt. But this is mostly going to hit like your gas station gummies and things like that, which I'm cool with. Make this 21 and over. Make it, you have to sell it in a liquor store or something like that, or a dispensary. So, I mean, the law is, it is what it is. You don't like to see anything being banned, but I think there's just a lot of fly-by-night companies that are just putting shit out there to try to make money. And, like I said, you're selling it in like little convenience stores and gas stations. You got to tighten that up a bit.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny having Julie on this last week. We kind of talked about some of that stuff there. And it seems like, as I was talking with her, my perspective was, you could have it regulated more so in some of the liquor stores that are used to regulating some of the things there too. Like here in Ohio, the thing they brought up was like some of the gas stations that would have some of the THC stuff, which we have one near us, which I can see. I mean, you still got to go up to the counter to buy it, and they're going to ID or check you. However, it is in a spot, like if somebody came in there as a kid and they kind of like shoplifted something, you might be able to get your hands on something like that and everything. Well, put it behind the counter then, if that's the concern, I mean, they can also shoplift the beer, but you're not seeing people start to jump up about that either. With the beer stuff being out there. So it's kind of like, how do you measure that all out? But it's funny. So in Chicago, like the drinks are excluded, but like the gummies and stuff won't be, right? Like those things will be banned.
Yeah.
So then you're getting into basically vehicles of how you want to have it transmitted to you. Like if you want it through a gummy or you want it through some other stuff, but if you want to do a drink, so then I feel like you're just breaking down and getting kind of discriminated against certain types of things. So it'll be interesting to see. Like, here in Ohio, I think it's pretty much everything they're looking at for the THC. So, I don't know. I think they're hurting the industry when you're kind of doing that, but I feel like there should be a market you should be able to have that offered to folks, just like we have dispensaries and all other stuff. I mean, I almost feel like you probably see more worse stuff out of alcohol than you do on some of these THC type things. I mean, so it's kind of like you can overdo it with either one of them, but it seems like the way it's been done already, like through alcohol, they have a model in place that should be able to slide THC stuff right underneath of it and be able to follow it.
Yeah. And one of the things that I've been hearing and reading about these like gas station gummies or whatever, they're like, oh, they look too similar to other products. I'm like, well, so is seltzers. I mean, Popsicle has a hard seltzer now. Sunny D has a hard seltzer now. So
Mountain Dew.
The lines are blurred. So, I mean, but you don't say anything about that. Now, I think there's a brewery, and I can't remember which one, but they have a beer that looks very similar to, like, remember the old slush puppies that you could get, which was kind of like the poor man's Slurpee, but it even looked like the slush puppy. So breweries are putting out beers that, resemble old products. And even, like I said, Sunny D has a hard seltzer. Sunny D was never an adult beverage. So, yeah.
A mixer, maybe, but never an adult beverage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see here. St. Madison, Cincinnati is doing some sort of Valentine's tour event that is supposed to include some surprise. Oh, okay. Had not heard about that there. But cool. But yeah, it is the Irish Red. I was thinking of Bell's because I had the Bell's Red Heart IPA, which is a red IPA. So that was my fault there. But the red IPA from them it's Bell's, so it's also good. What's up, Kettle? Cheers, my friend. Hopefully you're staying safe here with this weather and stuff. They need to make all THC 21 and up. I think they all are 21 and up, aren't they? I believe. I don't think you can be 18 to get a THC. I think you have to be 21 as well. Hot Butcher Double Blaze Orange. Nice.
I
haven't done a Hot Butcher in a while. 5 and 10 should be sold anywhere beer is sold. Over 10 should be sold like liquor or the dispensary. I mean, maybe. I guess it all depends on tolerance. It's funny because, again, talking with Julie on Tuesday, like the THC drink they're doing, it's only 2 milligrams. Yeah. And it's kind of like, that kind of effect can it have? It'll depend on your body chemistry and something like that. A 2 milligram could actually hit you as well. And someone that has a different mix, a 10 is not going to hit them as much as a 2 may hit somebody else. So you have to know your tolerance. You got to kind of know where you're kind of at there. I can tell you here in Ohio, the biggest I've had on the drink was 100 milligram. Because we can get that with some of the, we could. I think they've been all pretty much stockpiled at this point. But like the one that Urban Artifact was involved with, the Coastal Aloe, those ones, I got like a 50 and 25s of those. And it's just like, chill type. I mean, there's different levels to it. So it's like, I will say that 100 definitely will give you a couple extra hours for sleep probably. The 50, the 25 to come back down, you get down to the 10 and the Cyclone Frog, I've had that one before, and I felt like it really didn't do as much, but I think that was like a 5 milligram thing. So I guess it all depends on where you're kind of at there.
Yeah, like we have one here, and I'll send you the picture of it. the highest I've seen at a liquor store, it's called Bong Water from Mars, and that's a 25. And I have heard that it's pretty decent. I would not have had it myself, but I have heard on good authority that the Bong Water is pretty decent.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Word on the street is.
Yeah.
There you go. That's like Huggy Bear, Starsky and Hutch back in the day.
Yeah.
Then young kids don't remember that, but we remember.
No. Yeah.
Word on the street is.
Yeah.
THC infused sparkling water, 25 mg. Yeah. So depending, I mean, like I said, tolerance does matter and what your body can handle, but I just feel like there's no need to crush the whole industry because of a few things here or there if you can fix it. So, and let's see. So we had the Surly Brewing open end of January. So is this going to be out where you're at then, or was this?
No, I just saw. I've got to figure it's got to be Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, this is North Dakota.
I didn't know if they were coming to Chicago or something. North Dakota.
Yeah, no, this is North Dakota.
I didn't know if they were.
Yeah, I mean, Surly always puts out like some killer stuff. So, good to see that they're able to expand.
And they hit me with that there. They hit me with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it up here. I had to pull it up in a different browser. So, our two eateries based in Minneapolis are going to share space as one establishment. No, this is actually going to be on the campus of North Dakota. So it's going to be Short or Tall. I guess that's a pizza place. And Surly Brewing Company, they're going to open up like a restaurant brew pub right there on the campus. So that'll be pretty cool. I mean, Surly always puts out some good, solid stuff. So, I mean, good for them that they're able to expand. I mean, we always talk about breweries that are closing. So it's cool to see a good Midwest brewery being able to expand a little bit.
Yeah. I got all kinds of stuff. I hit the wrong button there. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and then let's see here. Wait a minute. You had the one. Well, the one you had was BrewDog closures, but it was also the same link.
Yeah, I had to update it, so I updated the link. But yeah, so the BrewDog, that was like another one that like it kept wanting to kick me out. But yeah, they closed Short North in Franklinton. So I don't know. That said, those are two Columbus tap rooms. So that was posted like 12 days ago. So since our last live stream, so they shut down two Ohio places.
Yeah, I think the one in Cincinnati, that's been closed for a while here now. When I came back, because I remember it being by the casino, and someone had told me they had actually shut that one down. And so then I did hear something around the Columbus one, but I'm kind of surprised. I guess I'm not surprised what's taking place because they've had some trouble overseas on stuff. And then I don't even know they're still doing the one in Indy and Pittsburgh. If those ones are open, I don't know if the hotel is still doing all right in Columbus, but I knew when his partner, who was the other co-founder, I can't remember his name, it wasn't James, it was the other guy, when he left
Martin
last
Dickey.
year. Yeah, when Martin left and he was like the lead brewer, head brewer, and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like, well, he's out the door. He's got all the recipes and all that kind of stuff. But and then they had to have James step over to another role for shit that he was doing, and he was still doing shit. And it was kind of like, you guys are gonna screw it up for everybody.
Yeah.
Like it's not just you anymore. Let me see. Yeah, 1,000 milligram would definitely hit you for sure. Would not recommend going that high. I don't mess with THC drinks anymore because the effects and time they took effect were all too varied. At least I know what I'm getting into with beer. Yeah, so you can have that range, and the difference in the gummies and the difference in the drinks can definitely hit you slightly differently along those lines. But I think I prefer the drinks to the gummies myself.
Yeah.
But I was saying, like I said, the one that Urban Artifact does, the Costello, those ones are actually pretty decent. The one I had from Julie with Kick Fizz was actually really relaxing too, but and it didn't really hit you that heavy. Like I said, it's only 2 milligrams, but you got a little bit of a chill phase, and that was it. So I didn't do the day when.
You did that. I was going to ask you, do the evening buzz, or the day drinking?
Yeah. Well, I did the day drinking. I haven't done yet because I had the caffeine in it. So I may do that tomorrow afternoon, just kind of see how it feels and everything. But the evening one was a nice one. Actually, kick back and just chill. So yeah. Brewdog is too shady and greedy to support anymore. There are plenty of other top options. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Some of the stuff they did was just, no other word but terrible. Or as Charles Barkley would say, terrible.
Terrible.
And then our other story that we had for the night, I'll pull up here, which I saw this, which was funny that you posted because I saw it online when it actually happened. When the guy that was explaining how tariffs actually worked, which if you guys hadn't seen it last year, me and Dave had a few guest speakers on it. We did a tariff broadcast. You can always go back and see that on the channel. But he was showing online how tariffs affect what they're actually doing. And he circled, this was the duty import that he had to pay to get the stuff in that he needed to get in. So biggest part of the bill was that tariff fee of the $2,000 there.
Yeah, and that's like the 15% tariff, so he bought a ton of malt, but I mean, that's a big chunk compared to all of the other fees. And then they were threatening an additional 10% tariff on that. So for everyone that says that other countries are paying it, no, this is this United States brewer that has to pay that $2,000. So the cost of this beer that he's making, that money's tacked onto it. So who's going to pay for it? Either he has to eat it or we have to drink it. So other, countries and companies aren't paying this. We are. It's a tax.
Right. And so, like you said, either he eats it or it gets passed along. And the majority of the time it gets passed along. And that's when people are upset their prices go up on stuff. Well, that's how it actually works to impact things. Which, again, we covered in detail with a lot of great people when we did that episode. But
but it was nice to see, like, here's the actual bill of sale.
Yeah. What's that right there? Right there? That's the big FU tax.
Yeah.
But yeah, and and he's talking about in here in the piece where he gets his grains from a special place there in Germany that they've been dealing with, and that provides the quality they want to get, and for him to not do that, so he wants to keep supporting that business because it's been great for what they're doing. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's another great one. With Blue Ox talking about the whole malting process, because that was more detail I really about to get into, just to understand the different ways they do like the malting type things, and and there's different shortcuts that some maltsters take that others don't, and it does affect the quality. So they're probably getting a pretty good quality there. But that's like the beer news we actually had here for this last 2 weeks. Anything else you're thinking of that to add in, or anything else comes to mind?
No, I'm looking forward to catching your shows coming up. I'll have to go back and get the replays on the ones that you had with Blue Ox and Julie. Just, I worked all week, so I wasn't able to tune in live. So I'll have to catch the replays on that. I'm going to have the guy from Kama THC Beverage Company. He's coming on this week, and it was good. I mentioned on the podcast last week, I'm like, for this week's show, I got nothing. I had like nothing lined up. I didn't even know what beer I was going to have. I'm like, man, I'm a clean slate. And one of my listeners got a hold of this guy, and he sent me a message like, hey, I'm free this week. When, let's do it. I'm like, all right, let's record tomorrow. So I came home from work and, banged out the interview questions. So, and it was a good interview. So that'll be really good. I'll have a couple I'll do this NA beer on the show, and I've got another one that's in the can that I recorded before January. So, I'm probably not going to talk a lot about beer news because most of it we've mentioned here, but, there'll be a few nuggets that I'll drop along the way for the show coming out probably late tomorrow night, Monday morning.
There you go. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I've got the Brews beers coming up the week after this week, so I got to put that together.
Yeah, that's good.
Like I said, that'll be fun to actually do. They do Belgian style beers, which I'm a huge fan of. And
when are you talking? When are you talking to Ryan?
Tuesday after next. So I got Ryan and Chris, I think, are coming on.
Okay.
So,
yeah, great guys, great guy. I'm off that day, so I'll definitely tune in to watch that. So yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, we talked to Ryan before. Ryan's great. Ryan's a great guy. That video he just put out about Belgium, made me want to go.
Yeah. Belgium's definitely on the list. It's been on the list for a good amount of time. So, and see here, 1,000 milligram gummies as JT provides the Onk advice here, meant to be cut into smaller pieces. They do tell you to try to cut it in quarters or whatever. Usually on the package, it'll tell you that. Daily flower smoker, high tolerance. I never take an edible higher than 100. Yeah. One that we got in Baltimore one time, I think they were 300 milligrams on those. But yeah, they can definitely hit you. She said they slept. Cookie learned it was so messed up, so they must have slept like 24 hours. Yeah, and then definitely knock you out. His family's business seemed to be doing better than Trump. But you're going to find that on different areas, depending on what your business is. If you're importing stuff, though, and you're doing some stuff like that where you're dealing with tariffs, I would definitely say it's not going to be as much better. Which today, I think there was a thing where I don't know why we keep messing with Canada. I say why he keeps messing with Canada, but he wanted to do like 100% tariff on something. But I know him and the Canadian Prime Minister kind of got into a little bit last week over there at the conference. So I don't know. I'm just trying to stay together and see where we're gonna land this ship at some point. Yeah. it's like start to get into the cellar beers before it gets to be too bad.
Yeah.
But so as far as upcoming, that with Brews, I got a few other things that I'm actually lining up. I'm going to try to actually get into get my buddy Wendy on here. She actually does stuff with TTB stuff. Talking with Julie, we kind of talked about her afterwards and I've talked with Wendy about coming on at some point so we can kind of get into that because I know there's a lot of things happening with the beer labeling type stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not gonna say there was like a bunch of people that are better off. I'm just, you're always going to find something like that. If you're invested and you're in the market, you're getting some gains in the market. I can say that, but a lot of people aren't invested in the market because they can't afford the other stuff they're trying to do. So it always depends on where you're at. But whoever's in, there's always going to be some that are gaining and some that are losing, and then it's just a matter of the number shifting more over here or more over there. So. But I'd like to get her on, talk about TTB, and then I do want to get some of the hop folks in. April upcoming in Philly is the regular Brewers Association conference. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it there this year, though. But I know a lot of people will be heading towards that. I will be actually, one of the things that'll be upcoming, I'm actually going to be writing a piece for Beverage Master, which is a trade magazine that I was recommended to, which will be interesting. But I'm going to be writing a piece around the malt that I did with Blue Ox. So that'll be a cool thing as well for something out there and talking with that. And that should hopefully lead to some other breweries and stuff that want to come on. But 2026, going to just keep shaking it up. I had a few people comment like, wait a second, you're doing RTDs now? Like, hey. I'm embracing different stuff. They're right next to the beers at this point, and they're just creeping into that cooler. So why not just
and it's weird. Like, we put out videos and stuff. The videos I put out of like doing a soda pop review, I'll get 10 times more viewers than I would for a craft beer. So
you definitely will because it's a more broad audience, right? So you have a lot more people, and that can be marketed towards the under 21 crowd. So you'll get more like that. And
Yeah.
that's like some of the I always try to keep this more as a beer type channel, but I know some of the guys that'll do like chip type videos, recommended potato chips or different stuff. And even like Simon over in the UK, real craft, he's got like a ton of viewers, but he even does like some of the food type stuff now too, just to shake it up a little bit and stuff. But I try to keep it a little bit more to the alcohol type content if I can. But who knows, if times call for a shift, just like the beer and the brewing industry, you might have to shift too. I mean, again. But
gotta go to where the people are.
But outside of that, everybody stay warm out there. We'll see how much this snow actually compiles the next day or two, although the big thing is more the cold afterwards. And hopefully everybody is safe if you have one of those areas. I think it's mainly Tennessee, like Arkansas, down towards Texas. Like Tennessee seems to be cut off line, but south is where they're having like the ice issues possibly. So hopefully nobody gets caught up in that too much, because that can be worse than the snow, especially if it's on the power lines. Sandwiches of History and her sister channel Willis Sandwich, where he reviews chips. Well, there you go. That's a nice little tandem. For a brother sister type thing. But that being said, I mean, I guess this is like a early episode and kind of a wrap up. Wasn't a lot of beer news and stuff, unless anybody still people with the holidays or all of that. So not a lot of beer news out. Yeah. So you were rocking a hockey jersey tonight. Yeah. Is there a game that you were on or something you were rooting for there with the Blackhawks, or just kind of felt hockeyish? Oh, beer front jersey. Yeah. Well, there you go. Very nice. So is that now in the beer in front store, or is that
no? I just had this made. I wanted to check the quality, and I am pretty good. It's got the numbers stitched on there. It's got my name on the back. So nice. I'm like, all right, that's not bad. I might do a baseball one for the summer. There you go. And that's a good man right there. Ryan Beer fridge is stocked and ready for the snow, right? Well, I got mine stocked, both of mine stocked, but probably got to shovel a little bit maybe tomorrow. We'll see how much comes down. Straight up looking forward to hopefully a lot of snow. Nah, so damn cold as well. Snow a lot. I just be inside. I don't want a lot of snow. A lot of snow is great when you're a kid. When you're an adult, it's more of a pain in the ass to deal with. Yeah, you're younger, Noah. Your back doesn't hurt when you shovel. But that being said, I guess we're going to wrap up early tonight, and hopefully everybody has a great rest of the weekend. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Definitely bundle up, stay warm. And if there's things you see out there for news stories you want us to take a look at, feel free to contact me or contact Dave. You can reach either of us through the information there on the YouTube channels, and shoot us an email or comment. Follow us on social media. Send us a message on social media. Definitely. And I know on my community tab, I think subscribers can actually add stuff on there now too. So I think they did an update with it or whatever. I think everybody might be doing it on their YouTube channel, or I don't know if you have to be like that 500 or 1,000, but I have the community thing where people can add stuff, I believe. Let's see. Ryan says everyone get your noon tomorrow. Catch my cameo in Cincy Brew Dads on YouTube. So make sure to check that out. Absolutely. Since there's no Bears game to watch. No Bear. Yeah. We didn't talk about that. So it was so funny. Like when we did the show, you kind of were like, I just turned the game off because it wasn't looking good. You had to be so excited at the end when it happened. But then last week, that play, like with Caleb Williams, like were you yelling at the TV? Were you screaming? Were you like I scared the shit out of the dog because she was like, what the fuck? I was like, it's another one. Like, how do you make that throw? That was like unreal. Unreal. Yeah. And, like someone had made a comment for one of the sports people this week. Like, the sad thing is the Bears lost that game because if the Bears would have won, that would have been like historic
down the line.
Yeah.
People will be talking about that big throw, but when you lose, it doesn't carry the same weight. But it was still a hell of a play.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been like, Joe Montana and Dwight Clark. It would have been along those lines.
Oh, yeah.
See it for years. Yeah.
Yeah. It was amazing. Truly a lucky team. When they did show the video, they slowed it down and they said, well, the receiver got away with a little bit of a push off.
It wasn't
to
a
get
push.
separated. But you know what? On Hail Mary, they rarely ever call a pass interference or something like that and everything. So I don't know. It was still a hell of a throw for him to twist the way he did those 2 times and make it throw pinpointed to an area was still a hell of a thing. So
even the one before against Green Bay. I mean, you're throwing, your feet aren't even planted, and you've got that much arm strength and accuracy to get that ball. I mean, that's like unreal.
Yeah. I mean, the overtime bad throw cost him in that regard, but I would just say, if you're a Bears fan, your quarterback does look bright for the future. You got the opportunities are going to be there for sure. So they keep building. It's hard to believe the Bears won't do something at some point, right? So it'll be tough for next year. Next year they got to play a first place schedule. This year they played a last place schedule from the year before. So now you got to play division winners next year. So you get your New Englands and Seattle. So I think I already read that the strength of schedule next year, the Bears had the toughest in the league. Yeah. Well, they stepped up. Yeah. But this year they were like not supposed to do as good as they were. Right. They still stepped up to meet challenges. So, it'd be good. You get a couple, you got to get some help on the D line. That's definitely going to be the main part. You need somebody that can, rush the passer. So, we'll see. Yeah. But things are looking up. Well, unlike Cincinnati, you guys know how to protect the quarterback. So that's a good thing.
Fucking Burrow. Man, Burrow has so much talent too, but I see Burrow doing like a Andrew Luck and just saying, you know what, I'm done, man.
If Burrow doesn't have PTSD like in 5 years, I'll be surprised. Just waking up in the middle of the night, block him. Almost a Bears fan, but the slogan "Bear Down" is so stupid. JT's not sold on that there with the Bear Down. So all right. Well, we'll keep on rambling. I know you don't want to hear us just here rambling. Maybe you do. I don't know. What else are you gonna do on a Saturday night when you can't go anywhere because of the snow? But which I will tell you what I'm going to do, because I just found out, because we have AMC Plus on our thing, and I just didn't realize that AMC Plus on our thing since we moved into the house and got our cable switched over. I did not realize that Gangs of London was free on AMC Plus. I've been waiting to see season 2. Now they're on season 3, so I can actually have a little mini marathon during the snow stuff this weekend. And I'm going to watch probably Weapons tomorrow, because I've not seen that movie yet, and I've heard some good things about it. Go Pack Go! Stupid ass channel. Everybody's got their own little things, and some work for people and some don't. All right, let's get the hell up out of here. Right. Thanks for everybody tuned in. Be safe out there. Enjoy.
Cheers,
stay
everybody.
Warm. And we will talk to you guys soon. Cheers.
All right. Cheers, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in. It's been a ride. Roger and Daisy, we here with pride. Midwest Beer Talk as we glide. Catch us again. Don't let this vibe slide. Like and subscribe. It's the key. Roger Beverages. Join our spree. Beer in front. We got the flow. Catch us live. Don't let times grow.